Okay. That is so okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Chumash on page 60 in the Chayenu. I'm going to give the daily synopsis, and then we're going to do the verses in the Rashi. So today's Chumash, which is not very long, but it's going to cover quite a bit. Hashem is going to specify the names of the Nesiim, of the leaders of all the tribes, who are going to assume ownership of each of their tribes' respective territories. And then they're going to divide the land of Israel to each of the Shvatim, all the tribes' individual members. They get the big parcel, and then they're going to divvy it out to the individual families. Thank you. And it's also going to talk about how Hashem instructs Moshe and the Yidden to set aside 48 cities for the Leviim, the Levites, because they don't get apportioned agricultural and settling land. So they had 48 cities as their place, to live. And then the Levite cities are also going to happen to serve a secondary function, which is their cities of refuge for somebody who accidentally murders somebody. I think we call that manslaughter. And they have to flee there. So they're going to flee to any of the 48 cities of the Levites, which are doubly acting as cities of refuge for unintentional murders. Page 60, verse 16, Pasuk Tezayin. Vaydaber Shel Moshe Lemer, Hashem said to Moshe, saying, Yud Zayin 17, Eile Shemois Hanoshim Asher Yinchal Lochem Es Aretz. These are the names of the men who shall portion out the land for you as heritable property. So these are the names of the people who are going to divvy out your portions of land. Elazar HaKoyin Yeshua Benun. Who are the heads of this procedure? Elazar the Kohen Gadol and Yeshua Benun, who will take over Moshe. Next page 169. I'm sorry. Now we're going to do Rashi Yud Zayin. The bottom of page 60. Ashin Chal Lochem. These are the names of the men who are going to portion out the land for you. So Lachem, Rashi points out, as many times, typically Lachem means to you. Here it means for you. Kol Nasi v'Nasi apotropos l'shivtei. The way it worked was every Nasi, every tribal leader of each of the respective 12 tribes population, they acted as a agent, administrator to give them the land. They would basically divvy out the land to each family and head of household, the men. And they would choose for each one a suitable portion. And whatever the leaders would do would be considered as though the tribes made them representatives. In general, the law of an apotropos. Apotropos means like a agent administrator for a person. And typically, we use it a lot of times in halacha about orphans who they get inheritance, but they're too young to really know what to do. So the court, the Beis Din, appoints a apotropos, means a agent administrator for them. So to here, you have this sort of every leader of the tribe was an agent administrator for their tribe to give out the land and give every family the type of land that would be best for them. And whatever they do is binding. It's not possible. So Rashi continues. You can't say lachem is the typical translation that they're going to portion out to you. Because if so, it should have written not that the verb would have been a little different. Not yinchalu lachem, would be yanchilu lachem, which means yinchalu. The fact is, what's the difference? Yinchalu, the tense of the verb means shimnoichem lachem b'shulchem. That they're going to give you an inheritance. they actually get the inheritance on your behalf, and then they give it appropriately to each family. So they're actually inheriting. It's going through them. The inheritance is going through the tribe leader, the Nasi, and then he is passing it properly to his constituents.
But the family owns it.
Eventually they own it. But the process, it sounds like it goes, they actually are stand in your place. Moshe Rabbeinu says, New Jersey, tribe of Yisachar. And then to the leader, the Nasi of Yisachar. The Nasi of Yisachar gets New Jersey, whatever I'm saying, in Israel, whatever, in Rhode Island. And he says, okay. And then he gives to the different families of his constituents their proportion. But originally, quote unquote, he gets like, let's give an Israel. The tribe of whoever gets the Nasi, the leader of the tribe of Zvulun, let's say, gets the coastline near Tiberia. Okay. He gets the whole thing, and then he gives it out to the families of Zvulun appropriately. He was in the Kinnerets, whoever it was. He was the other side.
Understood.
Anyways, Yinchalu is there inheriting for you on your behalf. As it says in Shemais, Hashem Yilochem Lechem. Hashem will do battle for you. Not to you, but for you. Okay. Yud Ches, on the next page 61, Yud Ches 18. You shall take one leader each from each tribe. You shall, every Nasi from every leader from each tribe shall take the portion, linchas aretz, to divvy it out, to portion it out as heritable property for his families, his people. Yud Tes. I'm sorry, there's a Rashi Yud Ches. Linchas aretz. Again, shiahei noichel v'chelik oisa b'mkeichem. It's the same thing Rashi pointed out. He is inheriting it on your behalf, and then he portions it out on your behalf. Very interesting. It has to go through the Nasi, it has to go through the tribal leader. Yud Tes. These are the names of the men who are the leaders, the Nasiim, Amati, Yehuda, Kol Ben Yefuneh. For the tribe of Yehuda, Kol Ben Yefuneh. Chof, 20. Olamat, the name Shimon, and for the tribe of the sons of Shimon, Shmuel ben Amihud. For the tribes of the children of Shimon was Shmuel, son of Amihud. Chafal, 21. Lamati is Binyamin for the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad ben Kislin, Elidad the son of Kislin. Yechav Beis, Olamat, ben Gad Nasi, and for the tribe of the sons of Dan, their Nasi was Ben Yogli, Buki the son of Yogli. Chav Gimel, Livnei Yosef, the sons of Yosef, Lamat Livnei Menashe Nasi, for the tribe of the sons of Menashe as a leader, was Chaniel ben Ephraim, Chaniel son of Ephraim. Chavdala 24, Lamat Livnei Ephraim Nasi, for the tribe of the sons of Ephraim, the leader was Kemuel ben Shiftan, Kemuel son of Shiftan. Chav Hey 25, Lamat Livnei Zvulun Nasi, and for the tribe of the children of Zevulun, the Nasi was Elitzaphan ben Parnach. Elitzaphan son of Parnach. Chavav, Lamat ben Yisachar Nasi, and for the tribe of Yisachar, the sons of Yisachar, their leader was Paltiel ben Azan. Chavzai, Lamat ben Asher Nasi, and for the tribe of Asher, the Nasi was Achihud ben Shleimi. Chavches, Lamat ben Naphtali Nasi, for the tribe of the sons of Naphtali, the tribal leader was Pedahel ben Amihud. Chavtes, next page in the Chayinu 62. Eila asher tziv Hashem lenachel es bnei Yisrael. These are those that Hashem commanded to settle the children of Israel at its Canaan, land of Canaan. Rashi, lenachel es bnei Yisrael. So here actually the term is lenachel. It's because before it said lincho, which means they're going to receive the inheritance on your behalf. Here it means that they got the whole thing, the whole process. Ultimately, what? To give it you inheritance according to its prescribed divisions. Basically, to have them receive their portions. I guess we're talking about the end result. All right, Perek Lamed Hey, chapter 35, Pasuk Aleph 1. Moshe spoke, Hashem spoke to Moshe in the plains of Moav, Ayard Yerecha Lemar, by the river of Jordan, Yerecha saying, Biz. Tavis Mneis Rav Nasal Leviim Menachlas Achuzasam Adam Neshavez. Command the children of Israel they give to the Leviim from their inherited possession. Artem Neshavez, cities in which to dwell. Umigrash Adim Sveisehem, and you shall grant the Leviim open spaces. Titin Leviim, you shall grant Leviim open spaces around these cities. Base a Migrash. A Migrash Ravach. Migrash means open spaces. Mokim Chalak Chutz La'ir Savlius Lanai La'ir. Empty place on the outside of the city as a decoration for the city. And you're not permitted to build there a house. So, I'm sorry. We're talking about now, he said, the Levite cities. They're going to get from their inherited possessions cities with migrash, open space for the cities around them. You give to the Levium. Base migrash. What does it mean, migrash? Unusual word. So Rashi tells him it means revach. It means open space. Malkam chalak chut le'ir, saviv liyos l'noy le'ir, a open space outside the city around for the beauty, to have beautiful, beautiful decoration for the city. And you can't build there a house, you can't plant vineyards, you can't sow any seeds. Gimel the cities will be for them to live in. And their open spaces, open space will be for their animals, and for their property, and all the living requirements. Gimel. For all the living requirements. This means, again, unusual word. So Rashi translates. Chayasa means tzarchayim, their living requirements. Dalid open spaces you shall give to the Leviim, mikira ir v'chutza, from the city wall and outward, elef amma v'saviv, 1,000 amas, 1,000 cubits all around the city. Dalid elef amma saviv, 1,000 cubits around. After this, after that, it's going to say alpayim amma, 2,000 amas. So is it 1,000? The area circumference of 1,000 depth of 1,000 cubits depth around, or is it 2,000 cubits depth all around? Okay, so how do you reconcile this? You see, the verses are contradicting each other seemingly. Okay, so how do we reconcile? Alpayim hunayis l'cholsa. So there's actually 2,000 cubits depth all around. But of those 2,000, the inner 1,000, the inner 1,000 was open space. The outer 1,000 cubits all around was for fields and vineyards. Hey, next page 63. Hey, 5. You shall measure outside the city outside the city on the eastern side 2,000 cubits. I'm sorry. You measure outside the city on the eastern side 2,000 cubits. And on the southern side 2,000 amas. On the western side 2,000 amas cubits. And the northern side 2,000 cubits. And the city is in the center. This shall be for them the open space of the city. We continue. Actually, I want to take back. I don't think circumference is the proper word. It sounds like actually they get more than circumference. You go to each side. You pretend there's like a square.
And you mean perimeter, not circumference?
No, but I'm saying the perimeter of like. How do you call the area around? Is it a circle? Like a depth of 2,000 amas as a circle around. That's what I call circumference, right? 2,000 cubits depth as a circle around. But actually, it sounds like to me, now if I'm not mistaken, this is correct, that it was more than a circle. You would go more like a square. But here's what happens. You go a square. Yeah, thank you. Hazel David found the art scroll.
They don't use circumference, they use saviv.
So listen, but it doesn't have to be. So listen, again, so saviv, what does saviv mean? Does it mean
All around.
circle or square? What is around? What does around mean?
Saviv just means around. It's
Around in what way? Okay, but around in what way?
It doesn't have to be specific, but it would be a square.
Oh,
Okay.
so that's exactly. In this case, we see from this verse, it means a square. What actually means is interesting. What's actually interesting is that you get. Actually, I'm looking in here in the. I want to point out.
Showing the picture.
Very interesting. Okay, it's very, very interesting, but I don't want to. There's actually a huge argument, apparently, about what this means. There's a three-way argument, I see. I'm only going to say then two that are, I think, relevant. The way they depict it here is the argument of Rashi and the Ramban, Nachmanides. So Rashi says it's essentially, imagine a city in the center. You then make a square around it, which means you're going to go to the northeast west side. You're going to go 1,000 cubits out. That happens to mean, by the way, that if you go from the corners, like the southeast, northeast, and that type of thing, corners of the city, you're going to get more than, the diagonals will be more than 1,000, because the diagonal to make a square, it means the corners are more than 1,000. And then you go another box, same thing. You go then from those 1,000, you go another 1,000 as in a square-like fashion. So it ends up being you get more area, at least by the corners. Ramban seems to not go with that, but we're going to enter Rashi, so we'll go with that. Anyways, Pasuk Vav 6. These are the cities usually. These are the cities the six you shall give them to where you shall give to where the unintentional murderer shall escape. Titnu, and in addition to them, you shall give 42 cities. Zion. All the cities you shall give to Levium will thus be 42 plus 6 is 48. Esen Vesmig Hashem. Again, the cities with their open spaces around, as we talked about. Ches the cities from which you shall give to the Levium from the property of the children of Israel, from the tribe that has many, you shall take more cities. So I guess the clans of the Levium, they get, if they're, let's say Kahas is a bigger number, they would get more cities. And from the tribe that has fewer, population members, you shall give them fewer cities. Each person according, or each tribe according to its inheritance that they are inheriting, they shall receive. Yitin ma'arav laviyim. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I take it back. Let's say it over. Ches. The cities you're giving them from the other tribes, inherited property, right? Where are these cities coming from? Is it like Washington, D.C.? Like it's a no state? The answer is
the inheritance of all the tribes.
Exactly. They're coming from other people, other tribes' portions. So how do you choose how many cities from each tribe are given to the Levium? So what's the answer? If it's a big tribe, you would give more space. They have to give more cities. If it's a smaller tribe, they have to give fewer cities, which makes logical sense. Rhode Island would have to give less cities than California. Ish kfi nachalosai, every tribe according to its property that it inherited, that they inherited, yitin me'od of Levium, you shall give it from its cities to the Levium. Okay. A lot packed into a short Aliyah. Let's go to page 167 for the daily Parsha Insight. So in the Pasuk in 34:17, right, in the middle of our Aliyah today, we said, Hashem instructed Moshe, tell the Jewish people, these are the names of the men who will inherit the land on your behalf. So in the daily Parsha Insight, it says like this: we are all leaders, whether in our families, in our circle of friends, or among our work associates. In our roles as leaders, we must follow the example of the tribal leaders of the Jewish people. Just as they assigned every member of the tribe a tract of land appropriate to that individual's needs and abilities, we should make sure that our followers are employed in the best way possible, both for themselves and for the group. We learn how to do this also from the tribal leaders. Just as the tribal leaders assumed ownership of their respective territories on behalf of their fellow Jews, so should we put ourselves mentally in the space of each and every one of our followers in order to appreciate each one's unique personality and strengths. We're seeing interesting. It's very interesting. We talked about how the leaders got the property for the whole tribe, and then they figured out what's the best for each family. So we're all like a leader in some sense, to some sphere of influence. So we have to put ourselves in our constituents, our family's shoes, our children's shoes, our friends' shoes, our neighbor, whoever we have leadership responsibility to, at whatever level that is. You then have to put yourself into the shoes, into the place, as it says, of the followers, and try to appreciate what could they benefit from my giving to them. The true and ultimate leader, of course, is God Himself. It follows that when Hashem assigns each of us our task in life, He's giving to us also mamish, perfect to your talents, gifts, and abilities. Therefore, should we ever wish our specific challenge in life were different than they are, we have to remember Hashem gave us these challenges, tailoring our portion, our parcel, our lot in life, literally according to every bit of our individual strengths, powers, and abilities. So it's a beautiful, that really, we went from noticing this very technical thing about Rashi, Rashi's noticing that how did it work? They didn't just get it and give it. They had to receive it on behalf of the leader, the Nasi, had to receive it on behalf of the people. And then he decided which is best for each individual member of the tribe. And it fits very well. A leader has to really receive it and also know about their follower or their constituent, their charge's abilities, and then give the portion appropriately. Where does that power come from? Because Hashem does that. Hashem is the ultimate leader. Hashem has everything and knows every one of us, His followers' abilities, and therefore gives us our conceptual portion in life suited perfectly. Wow. Mamish, knowing what we can do the best with the portion we're given. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Shabbos.